Beginning of Parshas Tetzaveh, the Baal Turim points out that for the first time since the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu, the beginning of Sefer Shmos, until Sefer Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu's name is omitted from the Parsha. Many of the Mefarshim grapple with why it is specifically here in Parshas Tetzaveh that Moshe Rabbeinu's name doesn't appear. So in the Sefer Oznaim L'Torah, Rav Zalman Sorotzkin asks this question and points out the following idea. And Rav Sorotzkin describes the fact that in a normal year in which we only have one Adar, in a year that isn't a leap year, so Chazal put together a calendar in which Parshas Tetzaveh and Zayin Adar fall out during the exact same week. And he asks, why would that be? Why does Moshe Rabbeinu's name not appear in the week's Parsha in which we commemorate Moshe Rabbeinu's Yurtzeit and celebrate Moshe Rabbeinu's birthday? And Rav Zalman Sorotzkin describes the fact that in many other religions, so the religion revolves around somebody who takes center stage. There's a person, a human being, a basar v'dam, of flesh and blood, who becomes the focal point of the entire religion. Everything surrounds this particular person. All of the holidays, all of the auspicious events in the religion's existence are around and revolve around this particular individual. And perhaps Chazal was dafka trying to describe to us that even though Moshe Rabbeinu was probably the human being most responsible for Yetzias Mitzrayim, and even though Moshe Rabbeinu was the greatest leader the Jewish people ever had, Lo Kam B'Yisrael K'Moshe Od, we can't lose fact and we can't lose sight of the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was calling the shots the entire time. That all of our holidays and all of the religious experiences that we have don't revolve around a human being, don't look at a human being that takes center stage, but rather are all directed and channeled from, through, and to the Ribono Shel Olam. And perhaps it's specifically to emphasize this point that Moshe Rabbeinu's name is dafka omitted from Parshas Tetzaveh, specifically in the first week of Adar. Specifically when one would think, when we would commemorate and celebrate Moshe Rabbeinu's birthday in Yurtzeit, so Moshe Rabbeinu's name doesn't appear in this week's Parsha to remind us, to give us a sense of the fact that we do things that revolve around the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that we don't worship people, we don't worship basar v'dam, but rather all of the Torah we learn and all of the mitzvos that we do are really in an effort not to get closer to a human being, but rather to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as we go through this parsha and as we read V'ata tetzaveh b'nei Yisrael, and we think about all of the hints to all of the different people throughout our parsha and all of the hints to Moshe Rabbeinu throughout our parsha, so we have to remind ourselves that granted Moshe Rabbeinu was the greatest leader we've ever had, but everything that we do is here in an effort to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All of the Big Day Kehuna and Binyan HaMishkan that we're describing this past week and this upcoming weeks are all in an effort for HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shechina to be shoreh amongst us, and our goal in this world is to be able to accomplish that, to do that, to achieve that, and ultimately work on our relationship with Kudsha Brichu as much as possible.